Welcome to FX Options University, recorded live at the International Securities Exchange, the world's largest equity options exchange. Join the industry's top trading professionals as they provide insight and strategies for trading in the currency markets using FX options. FX options are a low-risk alternative to hedging currency moves in any market condition.
And most people don't realize this, but and they think I'm literally just a futures trader, but I traded stock and equities for just about since the middle 80s as well. Great story. Another time I'll tell it about Fidelity's, this little mutual fund that I got in through a buddy of mine, but that's another day. But I also started trading options on Treasury bond futures, which was the first commodity they introduced options on back in 1984, 85. So by trading options, I understood if, as a directional trader, I could really build a position with lower capital, increasing my leverage while reducing my risk. And so that's where I guess was infected as more of a directional trader and using options in that content. And so in answer to your question, when I'm looking for a bigger move, a longer-term move that I think has capacity to really see a far distance in price, all right, velocity and magnitude, I will use options and use my shorter term for futures and foreign currencies. Okay?
Yep, thanks, John. I have a question. This is a question actually for me, John. Looking at your seasonality, do you prefer a situation like what's going on with the dollar-yen right now, that it's sort of setting up almost perfectly for you, that the yen is so strong and the seasonality studies are actually the reverse in 2 or 3 weeks, or would you prefer that the dollar was strong going into the seasonality, that would that actually mean that it might make a bigger move? What have you seen over the past?
Let's take a look at this chart, shall we?
Sure.
I mean, it shows literally, and let me erase everything so you can see this. All right,
I think I got to give you the control back. Hold on.
Okay. It should be slide 18.
Yep.
Are we
there
on
you go.
slide 18, the Japanese yen seasonality?
See it, yeah.
Okay. Folks, let me go back because I don't have this on a fine pencil. Let me go to pen and see if that is. Would you say this is approximately less than half the month, right?
Yeah,
so
looks
this is
like
about the 7th trading day or 8th trading day of the month of August.
Mm-hmm.
That typically the Japanese yen. Now, just so you folks know, look when this chart was created on your far right-hand side of your screen. When was this chart created, Steve?
April 09, is that what?
April 09. So we don't have in this chart May, June, July, or August of this year, do we? It's
right,
missing,
no.
Correct? We have not, because it didn't happen, right?
Correct.
When that chart was created. So in April, if I told you in April, oh, by the way, on or about the 7th trading day of August, get long Japanese yen futures. All right?
Right.
All right. Just to let you know, on or about, it was on August 7th, that the Japanese yen had a low of 102.42.
Right.
And now, yesterday's high was 113.41.
And most are looking for the dollar to weaken tremendously, but you're probably saying enough is enough or pretty close to it.
Here's
correct?
what happened. Seasonally speaking,
right.
On or about the 7th or 8th trading day of the month, the yen bottoms and moves higher,
right.
And that's what happened. On or about the 2nd to 3rd, the last trading day of the month, we see the market pull back and continue higher until about the middle of October. So the Japanese yen can truly see a little bit continued strength. Pay attention to the Japanese yen on or about the middle of October, and then look for the Japanese yen to start a seasonal correction to the downside. So here's a great way to answer the question, Steve. You're asking me, is this market on my radar screen for an opportunity to reverse from long to short?
Correct.
And the answer is absolutely, because of two conditions. A, time, the market did respect the seasonalities. So if it's respected it before, it may respect it again. B, number two, the market has had a significant magnitude of price move.
Right.
If it gains any further upside or goes back to challenge those highs, it will give me more conviction to look at a short position as we get towards the beginning to middle of October.
Gotcha.
So therefore, I would say any further strength in the Japanese yen, if we're anywhere near the 113, 114 basis, the futures market, I will be looking at that market from a selling opportunity. Now, it's interesting, Steve, because your product, and I'm going to go back to it here so everyone can see, they would want, and you don't have the Japanese yen, so they would have to use the yuck,
Right.
which is right here, all right? And so they would be looking at this opportunity in reverse.
Buying calls, right?
That's correct. That's correct. So just get to know what the product is, and that's one of the great things. And if I can go back over here to more about education, there's going to be more presenters, folks, and you also have, if I may volunteer your time, Steve, folks, Steve is a great guy who answers a lot of questions to find out more about their product and how you can price out and find out quotes on their website about how to take advantage of these moves. Because, Steve, there's a lot of people that they understand equities, they have an equity account, and they don't really trade foreign currencies. But here's an asset class that really, I think, can present themselves the opportunity to do so using your products. So can I ask this question to the audience?
Sure.
Folks, how many people don't trade foreign currencies? Let's ask that question.
Just type it in if you N for no, and maybe you're thinking about it. Okay, here we go. Good. All right, looks like a decent amount, John, huh?
So a few of you do not trade foreign currencies, and you're here to say, okay, and do understand that there is, just like, and some people think that, how can there be a seasonality to a foreign currency? A government either, and an economy either produces or it doesn't. Well, with Japan, they're an exporting nation, right? And they do have end of fiscal year, and they do have end of quarters. And there is companies like nowadays, let's say the small little guy like McDonald's, multi-conglomerate international corporation based here in the U.S., they have money flows going back and forth all over the world. So many times we had heard in the past where a company's bottom line, their earnings didn't meet expectations because of foreign currency exposure, right? Or the reverse was true. Their actual corporate profits increased because of foreign currency exposure. So it is an asset class that is available and should be available to all investors. And, I'm showing that there's definitely a seasonality to the marketplace, and you have the product, and that's where the two meet between the exchange of the ISE and other educators like myself who can show you ways that you can take advantage of these situations. And that's what I think is important. And if you are considering trading, then definitely find out about some of the stuff that we talked about today through the use of pivot points, or B, without a doubt, seasonalities. Because with the euro currency, it's only been around in its 11th year now, but this is the patterns that it demonstrates as far as average price swings year in, year out. Last year, for example, was mind-boggling. Steve, I know I spoke for you guys at a Traders Expo, and I forewarned people about that seasonalities, and it happened. And
you were right on. Yep.
It wasn't just right on, it was just mind-boggling because, and by the way, it was that you buy the euro currency towards the end of October and it rallies going into year-end. On or about January 2nd, you do the reverse. You sell the euro currency and it goes down against the U.S. dollar, and it happened not just last year, it also happened the year before, and every year. Some years it just has bigger moves than others.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. Get trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary. Visit www.fxoptions.com. ISE FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.